Welcome to the actual pay-per-view itself, the talk that we, are actually going to have, some meat to discuss. First thing is the WWE Tag Team Championship Elimination Chamber match that featured the New Day, the Primetime Players, Los Matadores, the Lucha Dragons, the Ascension, and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. I thought this was a good match. It wasn't as crazy as I was kind of hoping it to be, but what was fun about it, I thought, was all three members of the New Day get in. El Torito's even in the match. I had fun. I liked how the Ascension got some eliminations. That was cool. They're finally doing something. A little bit disappointed in the showing of the Lucha Dragons, though, especially when they were doing this whole big spot where Kalisto was caught in the pod. His leg was trapped. That seemed like they were botching it a little bit, like they were waiting for other shit to happen that didn't. I don't know. But overall, I like this match. I'm very, very glad that the New Day won. I actually really like how they won, too. I mean, what other times are there going to get where they can put all three of them on top of somebody and win a match? The referee normally wouldn't count it. So, that way, we've got Primetime Players looking kind of strong. We've got some new challengers for the New Day. New Day keeps the titles. I like it. Thumbs up for me. What do you guys think? Wow, everybody's really lagging today.
All right, well, nobody's jumping in, so I guess I will. As far as what I thought about the match, I thought it was a bit of a clusterfuck. It had some great spots, it was high action, and there was a lot to watch, but there was nothing that you really took away from it. It was just... this is an example of when Jim Ross bitching about guys needing to slow down is actually accurate. You can do a bunch of spots all at once. Don't fucking mean anything. You give me one or two spots and make those and build to them and make them mean something. It's a lot more effective and it's a lot less wear and tear.
But that's not the type of match this was supposed to be. This wasn't a main event type of match. Each match is supposed to be booked.
It's an elimination chamber. It should be.
No, this was supposed to be an opening match to get people hyped and excited. Yeah, it was a chamber match, but only in the sense that you're inside the chamber. It's a set piece. It's not supposed to be this is the way you book a match. There's rules and parameters you're supposed to go inside, but you don't have to do every match the same. That would be boring. I actually like this because the dynamic was so different than any other chamber match. It actually almost felt more like a Money in the Bank match than it did a chamber match. It was great. It was very fast paced. There was no downtime later in the Intercontinental one where there was this moment where everyone was just laying down in the ring and nothing was happening for 2 minutes. It was fucking terrible. This was just awesome. Every team there, I think, showed something unique and showed why they're all a part of the tag division, which was a thing that we were complaining a lot about going into this. A lot of these teams don't really matter. No, every team I thought was fun to see in there. Even the fucking Matadors. I mean, as soon as they walk in and the little guy just jumps right on top of the pod and he's just hanging out there, it's oh, I guess he's just hanging out there. And then when the light shines in them, the first thing I'm thinking in my head after the buzzer goes is oh, so is the bull going to get involved? Oh my God, he just jumped off and did a fucking Hurricane Rana. That was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Kalisto is probably the big disappointment in this. He not only botched her in that part, it was also when he climbed up to the top of the dome and just fell down.
Yeah, that was
he completely missed her in that too. Even Torito did it better than he did. So
they didn't even catch him. He just kind of fell, and it was just kind of oh, that happened.
No. Titus O'Neil has been developing this new thing he's doing lately where he just picks people up and just tosses them around like they're fucking nothing. And seeing him do that inside this cage was awesome. Seeing his big head get squashed into the chains and get stuck there was great. I like this match a lot.
Was, but somebody, it was either Chuck or Dane, was what happens if he can't get his head out? What if he's really
going to be there the last match?
Yeah.
He's going to be there the whole time.
They raised the cage and he's still in there. Guys!
Oh no, imagine they did that where he gets stuck in there and then he's in there during the Intercontinental title match, but then he gets out and wins the Intercontinental title. I've done dumb shit like that before. As far as this tag match, though, I had a lot of fun during it. I'm not surprised the New Day retained. I think you almost could have given it to almost anybody in this match, but I'm very fine with the New Day retaining it.
Not even the Don't Matter Dories. They matter now.
They got more positive exposure in this probably than they have since the WLC match.
Or, you know what, WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania as well. I was thinking that.
They were pretty decent there.
No, they did
They're
pretty
actually
good.
kind of an underrated team. I think a lot of people just check them off because of their cheesy gimmick. I think they're a couple talented guys. Even before you said, like, you know, Rosa Mendez didn't do anything for them. It's like, yeah, well, they're Primo and Epicos. They're a couple talented guys.
No, there are a couple of talented guys, like you said. They just have a gimmick that kind of holds them back in a sort of way. I remember back in 2013 when they debuted, I was like, "Fucking Olay, motherfucker!" And
I was excited for it.
I was
like
excited. No, it's a. You just have to. It has to get motivation. It has to get a little bit of momentum behind it for it to really take off. And like, you know, the Olay chance. You know, you have Sami Zayn in NXT now. It kind of holds them back in this sort of way because more people are going to want to do the Olay chance.
But they're not supposed to do the LT. They've never like said you should be doing Olay chants for Sami Zayn.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's just people being indie smarks, and that's fine. Like, it's a fun chant and it's a good thing to rally behind. But they're doing that on their own.
I think this is a really good match. Kind of like what Peyton says. It was fast paced. I think every team, for the most part, besides for maybe Kalisto and the Lucha Dragons, really showed off as like why the tag team division has been really building steam. And like Peyton said, we were complaining about why is the primetime players and the Lucha Dragons in over Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. I think those two teams might be and the Ascension as well. I think those three teams impressed me more than everyone else there. I think the Ascension. You know, they did a good job as being like the bulldozer team for them, and like, you know, Los Matadores, you know, El Torito. You know, we give shit on El Torito sometimes, but come on, a midget doing her Karanas off the top of a fucking pod, it's pretty damn awesome. You know, New Day wins in the end, and it was just a good match overall. You know, I personally, if I had my choice, it'd be Tyson Kidd and Cesaro winning, but that's just because I want those two at this point. I think those two are going to be great mid-card stars in the future. But, yeah, for the most part, I think this sets up, you know, the tag team division going forward for the most part. And also, I think it helps the primetime players and the Ascension the most. Because the primetime players, not much was happening with them. But they made it to the very end. Even though they didn't start the match, they were the last team to be eliminated. Which I think that really maybe sets these two teams going forward if they decide to use those teams. The Ascension looked really strong in this match as well, and they have kind of been bits of jokes ever since that failed debut of them. So I think the tag team division is going to be good going forward. You know, they'll add new teams in the coming months, and looking forward to it. Still need new belts.
I have one note that I forgot to mention earlier that I thought was funny. When Kalisto fell, the fans start chanting, "That was awesome." And JBL, I was looking at that and I'm like, God, he felt like awkward. That's stupid. JBL goes, "That was awesome. That was dumb." It's like, yeah, there you go, JBL. You're pointing it out. Tell us what you thought about this match in the comments below. Make sure to do that for all the different parts, for that matter. And
one more note about the commentary during this match. It's when King calls Michael Cole JR.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So yeah, watch this, JR.
Just looking back in the day, you know.
And they won't let up about it afterwards.
Yeah, King had a real senior moment.
Like, they brought it up in other matches too. Yeah, remember when he said JR, you fucking dude.
Well, to be fair, that's what we would be doing if we were on
but they're on a fucking broadcast.
I know, but still, it's just like, if we were doing that, I mean, we do that with fucking, look at Murky. I remember you said Murky instead of Murphy. Let's make this a joke. Running
you fucking asshole.
Did you say Murphy?
Good old fucking Merv.
The Merv of that dog.
So we are going to continue on here. The next match on the card was the Divas Championship. Ugh. All right, we'll talk about that one in part 6. Click on that next video if you are on YouTube. If you are on iTunes or Stitcher, all you got to do is wait, and we will be right back in a moment.